Keys Living. Today, we're going to share with you our three favorite places to go lobstering from shore with your stand-up paddleboard or kayaking. Pick these because there's generally plenty of lobsters at these locations to be found, and they are safe, easy access places, plus just beautiful spots all the way around to visit while you're here in the lower Keys. Number one on our list is Pine Channel Nature Park. This is a brand new park at the west end of Big Pine Key on the south side. That's the Atlantic side of the highway. Brand new, just opened late of 2022, and it's an amazing facility. And even if you're not looking for lobsters, good place to come visit because there's usually manatee in the channel right here for a good, easy viewing of manatee. This is a sky view look at it. This is an old satellite photo. The park has since been totally redone, and I will give you another shot of that. But here's an overview of what it looks like and up close. So on here, it's nice and easy to see. This whole area all in here has been grassed in. They've added tiki huts with barbecue grills, picnic tables all through here. Same thing on the backside. They've got some tiki huts and barbecues and picnic tables in here. They've installed a beautiful boardwalk that wraps all the way around the channel. And there's a large observation tower, easy ramps, easy access to get up to that gives you great views of the Atlantic side and the Gulf side. And they added the really nice thing are as a launch ramp for your stand-up paddle boards with little finger slips for easy in and out of the water with your paddle boards and kayaks. There's a swim platform in here. Great place to bring your youngsters if you're looking for inshore snorkeling. This water is usually crystal clear. Again, this satellite photo, I believe, was done shortly after Hurricane Irma, which is why it's looking a little cloudy. But a great location. They have restrooms and outside showers right in here, and plenty of parking. And I'll give you another shot of this, but right out of the gate, these ledges from this boat channel that was cut in here, I've seen lobsters in here on both sides. Great place to look at. I've seen a few in the channels along these ledges in here, but there are people in here fishing every once in a while, and I don't like being in the water snorkeling wherever I'm seeing people and fishing lines and having to compete with that. So right out here. But the really nice thing for lobstering about this location is your access to this area right out in here. You'll be coming straight across, really short paddle here. And three nice things about this is you have all these great big concrete pillars. Um, and at the base of these, you can usually find lobsters around here. There's loads of rocks piles throughout this whole channel that I found lobster in. And the whole little island that this bridge is built on is man-made. It is all rock piles. And right along the base of these, all these rock piles tend to hold lobster. I always have a difficult time getting lobsters out of these rock piles because it's easy for them to back in a little deeper than what I can get with the tickle stick and lots of hiding places for them. But great place to practice. And I have managed to get a few out of there, but a little more work. Nicest place for lobstering here, though, is along this cutout. There's lots of ledges with edges cut out in them that hold an abundant supply of lobster. And you'll find rock piles throughout here where you can find lobsters. So great area, great access with plenty of places to look for lobsters. The current does move through these channels pretty well. So definitely want to bring an anchor with you. And because this is a popular spot, you'll see a lot of boaters out here on the weekends anchoring up, and they'll also be in there lobstering. But because you got power boaters in here, make sure you have your dive flag up when you're in the water doing your lobstering. Something to do everywhere and all the time, but especially important here when you got this busy boat traffic. And here's a quick look at what Pine Channel Nature Park looks like now. This is the ramp down to the paddleboard and kayak launch ramp. And you can see there's a few folks in the water here. Out there in the distance, those power poles, that is your lobstering spot. And you can see a few boats out there. But that is what makes this so special. It's so close to those lobster spots in that channel we showed you earlier in the video. This is a look at the boardwalk. There's more tiki huts with picnic tables and grills in the background. Boardwalk goes all the way around, and you can see that beautiful observation deck. And nice thing is this channel, again, there are manatees that frequent this. So even if you're not going out paddling, great place to come and look for manatees. And again, they're out in the distance are your lobster grounds. All right, next up on our list is Sammy Creek Landing on Sugarloaf Key. Easy place to find directly across from the Sugarloaf Lodge and the marina is Sugarloaf Boulevard. Take that straight south, and at the end, make a right hand turn, and that will bring you out to Sammy Creek Landing. We'll also show you parts of this area in another video, and that's this the jumping bridge. Great spot to come out, popular with both tourist visitors and locals. Lots of ledges to sit here along the water and enjoy the canal and swim in and out. Lots of people bring their dogs for swimming down here, but a cool little spot. But that's another video. Focus right now is on Sandy Creek Landing. I like this because it's on the Atlantic Ocean and you're doing most of your lobstering out here in the Atlantic. You can see there's some deeper rock ledges. It's about 10, 12 feet deep out here. And there are scattered rock piles all through this area out in here, and along with the rocky ledges on the canal coming in and out. This is a great place if you're looking at wind finder and you've got heavy north winds. Um, and the channels and the Gulf side are a little choppy. Close in here along the shore is going to be really well protected and should be nice and smooth all through here for paddling, lobstering, or just going and hanging out on the beach. Really good spot. Highly recommend this one. One of my favorite places to go, especially when I don't want to be around other people. It's a nice private place to go paddling. It's also great if you want to do just some flat water paddling and exploring. You can paddle up through here, check out the canals. There's beautiful homes all through this area. You can paddle the canals, and even on this side of the island or the bay, there are canals and homes up in there, and you'll see those as you're driving down Sugarloaf Boulevard. Close up look again. There's only three parking places in Sammy Creek Landing in here. There's a tiki hut, there's some shade, picnic table, the sandy boat ramp for launching your kayaks and paddle boards is right in here. And again, you can see there's cars parked up here, and there is parking along this side of the bridge. On the north side, but I've always been able to get a parking place inside. The gate is sometimes closed in the middle of the day. I think it's just a matter of somebody hasn't gotten there to unlock it during the day. There's no signs for hours or anything. It's just random whether or not it's open. Um, this whole rock pile in here, I found lobsters in here and along the ledges of this canal going in and out. The channel is rarely used by power boats, but on high tide days, occasionally I'll see some people with their flats boats cruising in and out of there, or occasional pontoon boat. So again, as always, make sure you've got your dive flag up when you're in the water. And the current does move through here. It does connect the bay to the ocean, so you're going to want your anchor with you as well when you're out here paddling. But you can see lots of rocky ledges in here, and again, out here in the deeper water, you'll find some coral heads. And ledges, rock shelves to find stuff in. And these old boat ramps were washed away during Irma. You can find some in these channels that were cut out years ago. But again, a great place. Really enjoy Sammy Creek Landing. And again, the beach up in here, Sugarloaf Beach, is one of the nicest beaches here in the Lower Keys. Really private, fairly secluded. There are some private homes here. A few of them are occupied. Some of these were destroyed during Hurricane Irma, and they are still under construction, being rebuilt. You can see this boat dock was completely wiped out during Irma. It's totally sunk right now. Out here, you can see these rocky ledges, old coral formations out here. Water's anywhere from 8 to 10 feet deep in this section, but they do hold lobsters. And it's about a 1 mile paddle from there out to here and into the beach. So you can come out, explore this area, and then get up, check out the beach, stretch your legs, get up and walk a little bit before heading back to Sammy Creek Landing. Here we are at Sammy Creek Landing. Just a beautiful day. It's a Sunday, and we are the only ones here at the park. Water is nice and clear. That's one of the few times I've seen a boat come through the channel, as I mentioned earlier. This little ramp, nice and sandy launch ramp for your stand-up paddle boards and kayaks, and it's closed off, so no power boats coming in here. But great place. Come check out Sandy Creek Landing, even if you just want to go for a paddle and a kayak through the mangroves. Beautiful spot. All right, number three on our list is Horseshoe Beach. This is a fantastic location for almost any wind conditions. Great all around paddling, kayaking place to go. It is on the far east end of Big Pine Key, kind of catty corner of the island from our first one, Pine Channel Nature Park. This would be on the totally opposite side, opposite end of the island. It's a little difficult to find down here. The entrance into the parking lot is a little hidden from the highway. If you are going north, keep a close lookout for it because if you miss it, you are stuck going all the way up to Bahia Honda before you can turn around and come back to get in here. On the south side, it'll be your first right hand turn coming over from Bahia Honda on Big Pine Key. Plenty of parking. It gets to be a bit busy, but I've never had a problem finding a parking place. Short little walk trail down here that can get a little muddy after rain sometimes. Horseshoe Beach is a bit of a misnomer. You'll see this in the satellite photos. It looks nice and sandy, but not a lot of sand. It's more rocky than it is a sandy beach. But I see people with their beach chairs in all the time. I see people setting up their beach chairs and towels up here on the dry rocks. But a great place to bring the family to go snorkeling. Lots of fish to see in here, but good little all around place, but a nice place to launch in and out right from here. Easy entrance with your kayaks or stand up paddle boards. Great thing about this is right out here, you've got this channel that's cut throughout that connects the two channels. On either side here. So you do get power boats coming through here somewhat frequently, but not too bad. So always have your dive flag up, which you should all the time. But this is just packed with ledges that hold lobsters all the way around this whole area. I've never seen anybody else out here lobstering. It's a popular location for kayak fishermen. They launch and then they're out here in the mangroves catching snapper. But I haven't seen lobster folks out here before. Here's a little further distant view, and here you can see the entrance, so be careful you don't miss that coming into the park. Here's that channel that we just showed you close up. Some other places to look at for lobsters. There are some rocky ledges and rock piles scattered throughout here. Up here on No Name Key, this channel, I believe this was cut out. I'm guessing somebody was planning on building a house out here pre-Irma that never got constructed. But this channel's got lots of ledges in it. It's fairly short, but there are a few ledges. Great place to look for some lobsters. And this whole part of the island was dug out at one point, and you can see up in here for boater access, I guess when they were planning on developing this. So other great places to look. Up here on No Name Key at the end of the road, this was cut out. It's little filled in for a boat ramp. They've since blocked this off for power boats, so you can't back boats in there, but there is a trail to launch your kayaks and stand-up paddle boards from. Little pretty area to kayak from. I don't. This seems to have been filled in with sand and stuff from Hurricane Irma, so haven't seen any good ledges or lobster holding in there. But if you're looking for a shorter paddle to access these spots, you can come to the end of No Name Key. But again, easy access. It's about a mile paddle from Horseshoe Beach over to this area, and lots of places to explore, especially on days with south winds or west or north winds. This area in here is protected from those wind directions. You don't want to come out here on a day with easterly winds because this bay is pretty large on this side, so you will get some chop in here. Another nice thing about this, if you do have a heavy south wind day, you can actually paddle right around the corner. And there are lots of rock piles in this area, all out in here, fairly shallow water for lobstering. But the ideal place to go lobstering from here, if you've got a nice calm day with very little wind, is take the paddle out, come under the bridge, and right out here to this little island. This is West Bahia Honda Key. Tiny little spot right out here, but ideal lobster conditions right from here. And this is why. You can see this whole area is just loaded with rocks, crevices, old coral. This whole area. Um, loads of lobsters, and this is all grass, seagrass up in here, which the lobsters love to feed in. So early in the mornings before it, these are packed, or in late evening or early evening before dark, you'll see lobsters start emerging. But places like this, loads of lobster hiding places, so a great place to come out and lobster. It's about a 1.2-mile paddle from Horseshoe Beach over here. You can paddle out from Bahia Honda State Park. It's a little shorter paddle. Um, from Bahia Honda to get out here, about 6/10 of a mile, but you do have to pay to get into Bahia Honda. I believe it's currently $9 per vehicle to park and paddle out. So a little shorter paddle distance, and then you don't have access to the other places from Horseshoe Beach if you're paddling out from Bahia Honda. So I like parking at Bahia Honda, paddling over here. There is a fair amount of current through the channel out here, which can make paddle difficulty. If the tide is on the way in as you're paddling out, it'll be a little tougher paddle, but it'll make for an easy paddle in, and vice versa. If the tide's on its way out this way, makes it an easier, faster paddle out, but you'll be fighting the tide coming in. But because of those tides, the lobsters tend to move with those. So this seems to get replenished with lobsters frequently. But again, this is really exposed to wind and waves. So look for a nice calm day. Again, use that Wind Finder app and paddle out here. Also, a fantastic place to go snorkeling. Loads of all the different reef fish you'll find out in here. But lobstering, come on out, bring your anchor, bring your dive flag, look for this little spot. This is a nice deep spot. You can actually see the shadows in here um, from the ledges. So look for these, come out here, spend some time looking for your lobsters, and you will not be disappointed. Here's a quick look at the pathway from the parking lot down to Horseshoe Beach. Nice, easy carry for your paddle boards. And this is Horseshoe Beach. You can see how clear the water is, nice and calm and well protected from the winds. And that's No Name Key out there in the distance. If you're a power boater and wondering where to go, don't worry. We have a video coming up where we're going to take you out on the power boats and show you some of our favorite places to go lobstering, including this one that is close to shore on the Atlantic side, easy access, but great lobstering grounds. So stay tuned. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss these videos as they come out. But this will be an upcoming video that'll show you where to go on your powerboat for lobstering.